So here I'm having a very spoiling weekend, overlooking Lake Como. Wonderful, wonderful weather. The reavers are rushing around the lake behind me, and then of course in front of me here, the Villa d'Este Concours event itself, one of the most famous concours weekends in the world. And it's 90 years now since the Villa d'Este Concours has been taking place. This is a very special anniversary and a very special weekend for anyone who loves their cars. So this is a really glorious English car, a 1398 Vauxhall. This was equivalent to a 4.5 litre Bentley in its day, and this was guaranteed at 100 miles an hour. This is a really special one. It's called a Winsome. It was the sporty version. I think there are only six. There's only six known to still exist. And it's got a really beautiful rear end, boat tail end, and of course these fabulous flared mudguards, which I think look sensational on it. And then also, for me, I love the windscreen, the whole driving position, looking out there with that split screen. It's a fabulous machine. This is a hell of a car, 1951 340 America. It's got the 4.5 litre V12 that Lampredi put into it from the Formula One cars of the time. It was quietened down a bit to go in this fabulous body by Touring, and this is one of only two that were ever made with this engine. The other thing it's got, which is fascinating, is the Superleggera badges on it are all in brass or gold. We weren't sure earlier when we were judging if they were real or not, but actually looking at it closely and looking at other details of the car, like around these catches here, you can see there's quite a lot of brass, so it would suggest that they are absolutely original. So it makes it that's a very unusual detail. One of the things I love most about this car is obviously Touring having put the roof on the barchetta, is that the angle of the screen and the depth of the screen is really, it's just a perfect piece of design. This lovely 166 Ferrari is the first car that Ferrari built for, if you like, private owners and racing drivers. This car was on the road and on the racetrack, and it was designed by Touring, and is perhaps one of Touring's most beautiful designs. It's so pure, I think. It's so kind of quiet. It's not trying to do anything more than just be a great shape to speed its way through the wind. And I just think it's also gorgeous inside. Been wonderfully restored. I just think the whole look of the leather around the edge, stitching, it's a lovely looking thing. And this actual car, rather amazingly, won Best in Class here at the Villa d'Este in 1949, when it was of course a modern and very stylish sports car. The Lamborghini Maserati took the world by storm in 1967. Mr. Touring said it wasn't a concept car, it was an idea car. It was designed by Mr. Gandini. And it's an extraordinary piece of work with its silver interior. It was like a spaceship, and everyone was completely amazed by it. And Prince Rainier actually drove it around the Monaco Grand Prix circuit just before the race in '67 with Princess Grace at his side. But it was the doors and the way they operate, these gull-wing doors, which is the most unusual piece of engineering. And that's really that sets the car apart from anything else. I love these little Oscars. They're like perfect little Maseratis in a way. So beautifully made, so beautifully put together. And this is a really interesting one. As you can see, it's got a very unusual paint job on it. And this was because there was a gentleman in San Francisco, an architect and film producer called Bill David, and he raced the car quite a bit in period, and he had this very special livery put on the car, which he took from an aircraft of the day, and he saw it on the aircraft, thought it looked pretty cool, and so he transposed it onto the car here, and it's been wonderfully restored, and it's all been completely hand-painted, and it lives in Japan now, and I think it's one of the prettiest and loveliest cars here. So here it is, the Bugatti La Voiture Noire, celebrating 110 years of Bugatti. What an incredible looking thing it is. Every single part, I think, has been made by hand, and it's a kind of homage to the 57 SC Bugatti of the Atlantic of the 1930s. It's a pretty spectacular looking thing, and I gather that someone's already spent 16.7 million euros buying it, so there you go, quite an expensive car. So it's been a wonderful few days here on the shores of Lake Como. Some of the most beautiful cars in the world, all here together, a fantastic group of people, and of course we've been blessed also by this fabulous weather. So a very, very special anniversary indeed, 90 years of the Villa d'Este.